And when I mean dragons, I mean cats. Hello Snarkatarians, what's up? It's Jess. How are you today? Today, when I'm filming this, it is not only daylight savings, we sprung ahead, which I'm a little thrown off with what time it is, but we get more sunlight, so that makes me happy. It's actually really warm out today. It's about 70 degrees, and I ate my leftover salad outside, and it was delightful. It's also International Women's Day, so I thought I'd wear my Mother of Dragons t-shirt, and when I mean dragons, I mean cats. So today, what we're going to be talking about is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, the dewy version of it. I'm a little dewy. I'm a little white too. I had to bronze up a lot because this is not necessarily my shade. So, obviously I have everything else on. I do have 2 different eyeshadow palettes on my eyeballs. I will be doing little bite-size reviews and tutorials on the e.l.f. bite-size palettes. I'm not exactly sure which one is going to go up first. I'm thinking this one, but if not, one of those. So I'll be talking about my eye look on there as well. It is not an initial impression. It is more of a review. I've used it for a few days this week, and I'm just trying to figure out the way that it works best on my skin, my skin type, and I'm going to pass that along to you. Things that I had concerns with, things I was able to figure out. So if you like this kind of video, certainly give it a thumbs up. I certainly appreciate it. Subscribe while you're here and become a fellow Snarkatarian with me. I try to upload once a week. I'm going to try and upload twice this week. Holy crap. So we're going to give that a whirl. Follow me on Instagram at Pesky Snarkatarian, and we're going to get into it right now. So we're zoomed in a little bit. I'm going to go over the experience that I kind of had in trying to figure out what is the best way for me to get the best usage out of this particular product. So, as I say, we're talking about the Wet n Wild Photo Focus dewy version of this. I did try the original one, you know, maybe a year or 2 ago. Of course, I got the wrong color, and it just isn't suitable for my skin type. As you know, I have combo skin, I'm getting more mature skin, combo skin that leans a little bit more on the dry side. On my cheeks, sometimes my chin, kind of oily T-zone here on my forehead and my nose. So it was just not, it was too drying, it was too much of a matte formula, and I just didn't like it. So that kind of sucked because it's so affordable. I mean, you can find it anywhere. It's like $6.49. So when I had heard that they actually came out with this new dewy version, I was super excited, super stoked, because it's right in my wheelhouse, right in my alley. What other cliches can I throw in there? My cup of tea, all that good stuff. This is more of me testing it out over the week and trying to find the best way for me to use this for my particular skin type. So I have the color Nude Ivory, and it's just a little too light for this particular purpose today. I am just going to use this. I'm not going to mix this with any other foundation to get a better color match. It's just a little too light for me, and that kind of draws out a little more texture. So it is not a pump. It is one of these paddle situations, which I'm not crazy about because it's not very flexible. I guess a lot of people kind of tap it out on a palette. I would prefer to just kind of dot it on my face, more like my Physicians Formula, but that has a doe foot applicator, and I feel like that's a little easier to get onto my face a little bit more evenly, so this was a bit of a challenge. The first day I used it, I just went in with my favorite primer, my Flower Beauty In Your Prime Hydrating Primer. Probably put a little bit too much foundation on my face, shock of all shocks, and used a brush with that. That day I found that it looked a lot more cakey than I was hoping it would. It looked a lot more matte than I was hoping it would. It kind of got a little dewier throughout the day, but I feel like there's just too much foundation. So day 2, I used a lighter amount of foundation. I used a damp sponge, and I think I stuck with the same primer. I didn't change my primer at all. The finish on it was so much better. It looked so much more dewy and more natural, but the coverage really kind of went away, as that tends to happen a lot with a sponge versus a brush. But I like the texture of it. I like the way it looked a little bit more. Day 3 is pretty much what I'm going to do today. I did start out with my primer, and I just wanted to add just a little bit more dewiness throughout the day. because I feel like as the day went on, my skin got a little cakier, especially down here. I've been having some trouble with that lately. I wanted to see if I could make it a little bit more dewier and glowier throughout the day without it looking greasy. So the one thing I've been liking a lot is the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Primer. I used a little bit of that day. And quite honestly, you know, not a lot, just enough to kind of give it a little bit more dewy finish. I forget that I have my eyebrows on already, and I'm starting to wipe away my eyebrows. Brilliant, Jess. Brilliant. Be a little bit more careful. Okay. So as far as application, I'm going to shake this up a little bit. One of the better things about this one, as opposed to the original Photo Focus, is the scent of it. Ooh, that original stuff smelled like paint thinner. Like, no kidding. It just was not something I could really tolerate at all. This smells a lot like, if you're familiar with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, which is actually one of my favorite foundations. I really like that foundation, but it has more of like a fresh kind of linen candle smell to it. It goes away as soon as you rub it in and get it into the skin, so it doesn't stick around. So that's how I feel like this kind of smells, which I'll take that over paint thinner any day. But again, I'm just going to kind of dab this on my face. And I'm just not a fan of this paddle. So I'm going to take my brush, at least on this side, because I don't want it to dry down too quickly. And I'm just going to go in and see, it's pretty light. It's pretty light on me. It's not terrible. It does oxidize a little bit, but not enough. I do need to add probably a little bit more bronzer and contour, but the smell is much more tolerable. This is not a full coverage. I would say probably light medium to medium. It's fairly buildable. I don't like building up too much because I don't want it to get super cakey and dry looking, especially with the lighter color. I have to go in back over my eyebrows here. Oh. They were actually looking pretty good today too. Isn't it just satisfying when you have a really good eyebrow day? Oh, that makes things so much better. Yeah, I didn't notice how much it was, how much lighter this is. The other one that they had there was a little bit, I'm kind of thinking maybe the one right above, which they didn't have in stock, would have been a better match for me. But I don't know what that was exactly. This is way too light. But I will fix that with some bronzer and all my other stuff. Now, this time I feel like it's kind of wearing away on my nose. Oh, Lord. All right, so I'm going to go in with a damp sponge and just kind of press it in and hope for the best at this point. But it is dewy. It does have a little bit of a glow to it, a little bit more because I applied the glowy primer. So I'm going to go fix my eyebrows and put the rest of my makeup on so I don't look quite so ghastly. And I will be back shortly. Okay, so I did have to bronze up quite a bit. Yes, as you can tell, very white, very Casperish. But there is a nice dewiness coming through. Right now my chin looks okay. It looks pretty good. I'm like it's $6.49. You can get it at Ulta. You can get it let's call it Revco. Do you guys remember Revco? Did you have that around here? It was like before Rite Aid, I think. And that was at home. Anyway, so as far as the rest of my face goes, I did have to use the Catrice One Drop coverage. This is super light. I had to kind of balance that out with the Casperness of my face. I used the Milani Baked Powder Blush, which I really like. Has a nice luminescence to it as well. Keep up with the dewiness. I have really been liking this Mega Bronzer from Revolution Beauty in Cool, and I have found out, yeah, it is a little cooler than what I thought it was compared to some of my other bronzers, but it's still kind of on the warm side. But I use this, it kind of helps save the situation a little bit. Like I said, on my eyeballs, I have some of the e.l.f. Eyeshadows that I'll be talking about in another video, so stay tuned for that. Dose of colors. One of their matte liquid lipsticks. This is in Flirty. Oh yeah, one thing that I've really been liking here that I had to put back on because I wiped them off is the LA Girl Shady Slim, I already rubbed off part of the name of it. The LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. This is in Brunette. I've been liking this. I did get a lighter color, so I kind of intermingle those every once in a while, but today I saw Brunette, baby. Yeah, so again, it's okay. It's not my favorite foundation. I think it's still a little drier than what it's supposed to be, which, you know, I can make it work. I found a way to make it work, and that's what I'm passing on to you. So take that for whatever that's worth. If you have kind of combo more oily skin, you might kind of like this without a ton of different primers kind of glowing it up a little bit. So I think as long as you are combo, obviously dry, and combo maybe a little oily, this might actually work out for you. My problem area is my chin. I think it looks okay, pretty good for the most part, and right in between my eyebrows, and that doesn't look too bad either. Overall, it's fine. $6.49. It's cheap. It's available pretty much everywhere, and it works out just fine, you know? So that'll do it. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will, did I say subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on, ring the bell, follow me on Instagram at Pesky Snarkatarian. Okay, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!